Second area of focus is content, which is about what we consume and kind of the ways in which we consume it, because there's some fundamental shifts. I mean, I think we can all kind of anecdotally notice that we have attention deficit disorder as a society, or at least I do. Information overload is probably a familiar term. And it's actually no wonder that we feel this way. The amount of media that's available has been growing exponentially for years and continues to grow exponentially, but there's still 24 hours in a day. And if you want to sleep and eat, you can really only spend so much time consuming media. And at the moment, it's about at 9.5 hours a day people spend consuming media, whether that's TV, digital, whatever. And we really can't go a whole lot higher. So that means we have to make choices about the information we consume. And it kind of leads to this larger trend, which is that information is cheap and attention is expensive. So it's easy to make information, it's hard to get people to spend attention on it. So one way to address this problem is to use something I call micro-engagements. What I really mean by that is just engagements that are small and fast, hence the little dog picture. A micro-engagement can really be anything. It can be a small interaction like clicking the like button on a Facebook post, or it could be something like a tweet where it's just a small bit of content. Some examples that are interesting, obviously you think of Facebook and Dig for having that thumbs up, really quick interaction, but Buzzfeed's a really cool site that shows kind of internet memes, and they have these additional reactions. I'm not sure if you can see it, but they say LOL, oh my god, cute, geeky, trashy, old, and ew. So you can kind of tag your reaction to different posts. And then what's cool about that is that it actually creates data feeds, so you can just follow the LOL feed if you're just interested in funny stuff, or the trashy feed if you're interested in trashy things. So it's kind of a really fast way to get interaction and feedback from fans, and also is really great to be used for data mining, because you can do cool things with that. Outside of just interactions, there's an opportunity, I think, for content. And I'm going to say Facebook a lot, but Facebook's a great example for brands to kind of come up with these really fast pieces of information that people consume on their own terms. Knowing that you can't guarantee that you're going to have any person's attention for a long period of time, if you just kind of output fast, small, interesting things, you have a better opportunity of sticking. It's kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall. This goes even beyond interactions and content. The Obama campaign revolutionized campaign finance by introducing micropayments, and most of his contributions came from people who contributed less than $200. He made it easy to contribute. He put it online, and it's been hugely successful for him, or was hugely successful for him. Another example with micropayments that I was just talking is the iTunes store. I've been a dedicated pirate for years and years, and I don't pay for media. And then over the last year, I spent $2,000 at the Apple Store because they made it easy. It was easier than piracy. It was $1.99 or 99 cents at a time. And that's a huge opportunity, I think, for people. If they introduce these kind of micro interactions, they're much easier. So key takeaways: in an attention-starved world, communication is kept best if it's kept small and fast. To be successful in this type of interaction, you want to have context. You want to be where people already are and where the interaction is relevant. You can't interrupt someone's flow. And agility. It's really kind of like a science lab. Not everything's going to work. Since it's a lot of small and fast stuff, you have the opportunity to fail on a few and just keep going and keep trying and learn about what works. So another way to kind of work with people in this world where there is so much information is to think more about being a curator of content instead of a creator of content. Clay Shirky has a really famous quote where he says, "It's not information overload, it's filter failure." So it's not the fact that there's too much information out there, it's that we have a hard time processing it and understanding what's relevant to us. And I think this is a great opportunity for brands to become kind of that curator of the experience. A lot of brands that I work with, tell me that they dream of being the #1 authority on whatever topic their category is. So we work on Vicks at Publicis, and they always want to be the #1 source of cold and flu information. And it's just never going to happen, right? I mean, the internet is all about transparency. If I can get that information from a WebMD instead of from a brand, it's so much more reliable to me. So, I mean, that kind of goal is really, people tend to think that when they think, oh, what are we going to do online? Let's have a content library. That's not the way to go. You want to think more in terms of curating or aggregating. The way I think about it is that being the artist is very hard. Being the museum curator is a little bit easier. Not that it's not hard as well, but you shouldn't really try to, I mean, in most cases, I think it's kind of a waste of time for brands to try to be the be-all and end-all of content for their category. It's just never going to happen. They're better off curating what makes sense. So an example here is Taste of Home has a video site, and they wanted to launch this video site, and they were making about 2 videos a week themselves, professionally produced, cost a ton of money. And they realized that they could actually source videos from their community, but not just put up anything. They filtered all the results. So they actually would look for the best videos that people submitted that were on brand, that worked with their tone, and then they published them. And so now they're actually they're the #1 web video site, which might be a little niche, but they really were able to minimize their costs, because they first were thinking cost per video, and now they're just curating and they get thousands. So takeaways here, instead of thinking about advertising, think about providing value. And I think this is an opportunity that's a good way to provide value. Don't enter an already crowded marketplace. I mean, I think in most cases content is pretty crowded just because of the sheer volume of information. And you can filter content in a way that reinforces the brand voice, which establishes the brand as a tastemaker, which is a really kind of great opportunity. And just to point out also, curation does not equal aggregation. Aggregation is automatically filtering based on keywords. And if you guys saw, I should have put it in here, the Skittles homepage launch that happened like a year and a half ago, they filtered it so that it automatically showed Twitter results for the word Skittles. And immediately people started going, Skittles cause cancer, Skittles suck, and it all was showing up on their homepage. So that's why you don't want aggregation, right? You want some human person behind there that can kind of filter the voice of the brand.